Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer here with my man, the BOAT, Brad Gilmore. I want to thank all you guys in the chat as well for hanging out with us, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. We got a whole lot to talk about, guys, coming off of the Royal Rumble weekend. It's just a whole lot going on in the news, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. But what about yourself, Brad? How you doing, bro?
Book, I was doing well. I was doing well.
What
And then
happened?
this morning, I'm gonna tell you, this morning I woke up and I was brushing my teeth or something, and I hit my hand the wrong way. I said, "Ow, that hurt." And then I looked down at my index finger, and I had a massive bite of sweat. Like, it looked like a insect bite of some kind, and my finger was all swollen.
Yeah,
And so I did the virtual visit with the doctor, and it turns out that I have a spider bite. Right now, I'm on a series of antibiotics and medications. However, if I start to develop any kind of Spider-Man like abilities, I'm flushing those antibiotics down the toilet. You know what I mean? I want to be.
It won't happen.
Like I don't even need to be able to swing on webs or crawl walls. I just want the little sixth sense, like something's about to go down. That's all I want. I don't need any of the other stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're going to be like the guy on the insurance commercial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who lets the spider bite him?
Yeah, wake up, a swollen eye, lip can't move.
Have you ever had an insect bite or a bug bite or a spider bite of any kind?
I'm sure I have. Nothing significant. Nothing that I can really remember or anything. The brothers, we get mosquito bite. That's about it. We ain't gonna be out in the bush too far to get bit by something other than something like a mosquito. A bee might get you every now and then, but it ain't gonna be no tarantulas. It won't be any, king cobra or anything, anything like that. No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be up in the mountains, looking to get bit by something, or out in the woods hunting, nah, forget that, man.
Yeah,
I look
So
at a lot of this stuff on YouTube, man, and I see these, guys out here, hunting wild boar and stuff like that. And, out in the bush, I watched this one on YouTube with this guy. He deals with nothing but big snakes, and man, he always having to remove the eggs, and you have to move the snake to actually remove the egg. And man, it's so crazy. It's like the most dangerous thing you can put yourself in harm's way in that situation. But it's those kind of people, man. There's so many of those people love that kind of stuff. I just don't get it. I just don't.
Let me ask you: is this guy a Caucasian gentleman?
Yes, he is.
Look, if it's anything where there's a high likelihood that something stupid's going to happen, I got to say, my people are at the top of the list.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're going to see no brothers doing that. He always got assistants. I've seen not one brother yet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy, man. But he's very popular. I can't think of his name or anything like that, but he's very popular. His YouTube channel gets a lot of views. And I tell you, these days, man, I tell young people all the time, I always say, find what you do well and literally massage it, enhance it. And if you do that, you won't have to worry about a check in the mail, especially these days, man, because YouTube, guys are sitting at home like this guy. I'm sure he works on a daily basis, but I'm sure he's getting paid more from doing his little short videos than he's getting paid at his regular job. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's the world we live in now. I wanted to ask you though, one other thing before. I know we got to talk about Royal Rumble and there's some UFC stuff, there's boxing to get to and all that. What did you think about the whole, not only the NFL playoffs that were awesome this weekend, but the whole Tom Brady is retired and then he's not retired and then he's retired, then we're not sure, it's up in the air. Did you follow that story on Saturday while you were preparing for your show?
What was crazy was on Saturday morning, I went out and had breakfast with Charles and Lee, and we actually started talking about this conversation right here before it actually happened, before the news actually broke. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know, and Charles said, man, I can't wait to get to Vegas with you, man, because your picks are unbelievable. This is what I said at breakfast, okay? 10
All right.
o'clock at 10 o'clock in the morning. They said, "What do you think, man? Tom Brady, what do you think's going to happen next season?" I said, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think we're going to see Tom Brady next season. This is what I said before the news ever broke. And the reason I said that was my rationale was this. I say it's so much easier to say, man, I got to go back and get one more after you've won it. I almost like the Lance Armstrong syndrome. You know what I mean? He just had to have one more heist. He had to get one more bank. And when I said Tom Brady, if Tom Brady would have gone through this season dramatically as he did, the major comeback, and going to the Super Bowl, win it, that euphoria would have carried him to next season. To actually say, man, I got to get myself ready. I got to prepare myself off season. I got to get ready for the OTAs. I got to get ready for the preseason. And then I got to get ready for the regular season. And then I got to try to get ready for the playoffs. And then we got to try to make a run. It would have been so much easier to do that if he had won, but the euphoria was gone after he lost. And I just think it would have been so hard for Tom Brady to say, man, let's go back and try to do this one more time. Unsure that he could actually pull it off one more time. That was my take. And then later on, the news broke. Charles called me and he said, man, how did you know that? And I go, I didn't, but I just know that euphoria is a hell of a drug, man. Winning is a hell of a drug, and him not winning definitely, I think, was the air that definitely was just not in his cells to fuel him through.
It'd be interesting if he because look, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think that they didn't want the information out yet. I think that it is a wrap for Tom Brady, and what a hell of a career if it is. 22 seasons, it's 9 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowl MVPs, 5 league MVPs, something like that. I think my stats are a little bit off, but nevertheless, the man was great. The man was the greatest at the quarterback position ever. And he really doesn't have anything to prove at this point. I think that he could have, and I get what you're saying about euphoria. He could have walked away at the end of last season after winning the Super Bowl and had the perfect finale. Look, I went to a brand new team, played a home game at the Super Bowl in our home arena, and I won the MFR. I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm out. Well, that would have been a great way, but I get what you're saying.
I just believe that if Tom Brady would have won the Super Bowl, we would have saw him again, and if he would have won again, we perhaps would have saw him again after that. Because, like I say, I'm serious, man. Euphoria,
or at least if he made it all the way. Like even if he made it all the way to the game. I don't even think if he made it all the way, he would have had to have won it. Mm-hmm.
Able to go and pop the champagne at the party. If you don't do all of that, you don't get to euphoria. Euphoria goes away immediately when you lose.
Right.
You got to win it. You got to go all the way. And I really think that's what happened. Take nothing away from Tom Brady in his career, man. The great is definitely not touted. What was he picked coming out of college? It was nowhere.
199th.
Exactly. So he was a guy that was least likely to succeed and went out and proved all the naysayers, all the doubters wrong. So, man, big props to a guy like that, man. He say, give me a shot. He get himself in the game and he said, man, it's my spot. Nobody's going to take this spot from me ever again. That right there shows, grit, man. And big up Tom Brady in his career. Nothing but love for a man who can go out there and do it his way and make history along the way. So, yeah, man, nothing but props.
Yeah, Roland got my stats corrected for me. 22 seasons, 7 Super Bowl rings, 9 appearances, I think, or 10 appearances, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVPs. So, I mean, the guy's an all-timer. So if he called it a career, good for him, man. Good for him. Incredible.
Hey, guys, we got to take a quick break, but like I said, we got a whole lot to talk about. Big fight going down this weekend. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Mojo Riley, he's in the news. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at the Rumble. Of course, Mike Tyson said, man, I'm done. I'm finished. It's over. As well as Jake Paul diss track to Dana White. Guys, we got to talk about all of this here inside the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Being accompanied to the ring by Booker T from Houston, Texas, Gaston Hernandez.
It is Gaspar Hernandez versus Diego De La Cruz.
If Diego's smart, and remember, guys, this is a former tag team champion, okay? Diego is a great competitor. He should have a...
Oh, my goodness!
Well, I spoke too soon.
Oh, my goodness. And you see Booker T giving instructions, almost coaching Gaspar Hernandez.
That's unreal. Diego, once again, a tag team specialist, man, but right out the gate, Gaspar just took him right off his feet.
I mean, what a vicious clothesline. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God, no.
Oh, my.
I think I can speak for everyone here, especially with the experience. That hurts.
Booker T just signaling to wrap this up, Kirby.
Absolutely. He's just directing traffic out there. It's now Gaspar. Oh, no. Here he goes. Go for a run.
Oh, my gosh.
That's it. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow, gentlemen. That's all I have to say is wow.
Oh, my goodness. Or actually, to put it in terms that everybody might understand.
Can you dig it, sucker? Shoop. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Hey, man, we got a whole lot to talk about, but Brad, we got anything over there on that side before we get moving here?
Yeah, we do. I mean, obviously, that went down Saturday in St. Louis, Missouri, the Royal Rumble, the annual event that kicks off the road to WrestleMania went on, and a lot of mixed feelings about the show. A lot of mixed feelings. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like it. I was in the, and I know people are going to be like, oh, shill. I liked the show. I enjoyed it for the most part. I saw somebody even in the comments earlier. They're like, yeah, I know Booker and Brad are going to talk great about the show on Saturday. You know, but I liked it. I can only like what I like. I thought that there are parts that could have been better, and that's what the first question is. So I guess we could start there.
That's what I wanted to know. I was like, what parts of the show are we talking about? First of all,
Yeah, so
Super Chat.
Adrian Paulo says, what do you guys think could have made the men's Royal Rumble match better? I know Booker T doesn't like to book the show, so what does the Bo Brad think? A lot of people didn't like the men's Royal Rumble. That was what I heard the most feedback on. And as far as the Rumble, I don't know if you got to see the whole thing, because I know that you worked half the show.
I got to see most of it. I left and I missed the Bobby and Brock confrontation live. I got a chance to watch some of it on YouTube as far as just some highlights of it and whatnot. But I got a chance to watch most of it. I think the men's Royal Rumble was missing those organic surprises.
I agree.
I think that's what that's what it was missing. I think it was missing, just say for instance, what have I got? RVD show up. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I think that's what I think the Royal Rumble was pretty much kind of like built on. Who are we going to see that we just totally didn't expect to see? But man, we are so happy to see them. One of those type of moments. And I think we missed out on that. I think the Royal Rumble this year was about the finish.
It was mainly about how we were going to go out with Brock coming in at number 30. But here's the thing. The first, 2/3 of the Rumble, the men's Rumble, was a little slow, in my opinion. It's like, okay, here's this guy, here's this guy. It was a little formulaic. It was a lot of people who we see all the time. There wasn't, like you said, there wasn't that awe factor. There was a couple fun things in the beginning. Johnny Knoxville, by the way, shout out to Johnny Knoxville. This guy took a shot from AJ. He took a big old splash from Montez. He took a haluva kick from Sammy.
Oh, man, he was jackass like in living color. You know what I mean? I'm serious. It was unbelievable.
And it didn't look like anybody was holding back. Like these things were getting laid in. And I can even see Knoxville saying, hey, guys, make sure I feel it out there. That's what that guy is. He wants to live off of that. We had Knoxville at the beginning. I think he was out early. And then there was no real surprises at all up until the last 10 entrants is where you started to get some big names. You had Randy come out. You had Bad Bunny as a surprise. You had Shane McMahon as a surprise. You had Brock Lesnar come out as a surprise, you know,
Oh,
and win the whole thing.
the Kofi Kingston moment.
Oh, it felt bad for Kofi.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a real Icarus flying too close to the sun thing. You know what I mean? It's like, how many times you gonna do it?
I'm gonna tell you, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. That looked like it hurt like hell. I ain't lying, man. It looked like he crushed his sternum. Even though I know that the barrier there's a padding, but up under that padding is something hard. Okay, it's just not a big bone pad,
Right.
And I tell you, when he hit it, it was like putting on the brakes. It looked like I said, "Ow!" That looked like that hurt, and it looked like you know, just from his reaction that it hurt. You know, and just coming off the top rope to I mean, that was a crazy bump. But those are the moments right there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to try to hold on, you know, and his feet weren't supposed to touch. I think it slipped, and you know what? They're like, all right, we got to run with it. You screwed that one up a little bit, but you know, again, Kofi's done so many amazing Rumble spots. It was bound. It was almost like the odds were against him at this point. You know what I mean? To pull something like that off.
But just think about, like you say, all the ones he was successful on, and then the one that he missed. No one remembers the ones, you know, he was successful on. They're gonna remember this one because they didn't get that moment. They didn't get a chance to get that. What we were just talking about a second ago, that euphoria of Kofi. No, he's not out of it yet. He's still in it. Let's see what happens. Those moments right there, man, they're hard to duplicate on a regular. But I tell you, I think for me, the moments in the Rumble for the men was just not enough surprises. Not enough surprises, you know.
I didn't have
like just say, for instance, a guy like, you know, Wade Barrett. He's down there in NXT, and just imagine if Wade Barrett music would have played, and boom, he came out in the Rumble. You know, just stuff like that. I thought we needed a little bit more of.
I thought we were going to see X-Pac. I was almost sure of it. I thought we might see Kurt Angle. I thought that those might be moments that we got, but we didn't. And I didn't have a problem with who won the Royal Rumble. At all. I think that when you saw how here's the thing, and this might just be from my years spinning with you and Kevin and you know, trying to figure out how to put a show together. When I saw that Roman and Rollins was the first match on the show, I was like, oh, Brock's winning the Rumble. Like, I knew as soon as it, because I was like, Roman retains, screws Brock and Bobby. Brock comes in at the end and wins the Rumble. It's the first thing I said when I saw it. So I didn't really have a problem with the winner of the Royal Rumble. I did hear it was supposed to be. Did you hear who it was supposed to be? Who was planned to be?
Riddle, right?
It's going to be Riddle. Yeah, it's going to be Riddle.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I was reading as well. Yeah,
that would have been a surprise for me. I would have been genuinely surprised by Matt Riddle winning the Royal Rumble because you know, normally you see the story coming, right? You're like, okay, who are the three guys who it could be? We thought Big E was a possibility. I thought Brock was a possibility. And those were really all I had for the men's Royal Rumble. One of those two. I did not think Riddle. You know what I mean? And
Riddle, he's highly touted, man. I must say he's very highly touted as far as being, you know, perhaps future world champion in WWE one day. So I can't. Me personally, when I read it, I wasn't shocked or surprised or anything like that. I go, yeah, I can see that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could build some to him and Randy, or I don't know, him and Bobby, two MMA guys kind of going after the title. I could see it, but Brock winning, I didn't have a problem with. Did you care that Brock Lesnar won the Royal Rumble? Did it ruin it for you?
No, you know what? It didn't ruin it for me or anything like that. But like you just said, when you saw the scenario play out from the beginning, you thought one way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of other people thought that way.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what maybe took the allure out of it. So yeah, I mean, I can see how people are disappointed, and you know, they didn't get, you know, perhaps what they wanted as far as who they want to see win the Rumble, or perhaps how it played out. You know, I get it, I totally get it. You know, but can't hit a home run every time.
You can't. You can't.
I must say that you cannot hit a home run every time, and you know, hard as you try, you're just not going to get it done.
And the thing is, I will say that out of all the matches on the show, because I think we had 5 or 6 matches, that was the men's Rumble was my least favorite. You know, I mean, I thought that there like you said, there just could have been stuff to juice it up. But can we talk about how awesome Bad Bunny is real quick?
I'm gonna tell you, Bad Bunny dropped toe hold. Looked like he been at reality wrestling school. I'm serious.
It was sensational.
Textbook training, expert tutelage. So I was like, man, this dude look like he knows what he's doing. The dive off the top rope was like effortlessly. I was like, wow, man. This dude really is, on point as far as knowing what the entertainment side of this business is truly all about. Now, I give Bad Bunny like huge props, and anybody that was watching Bad Bunny, if they got anything bad to say about him, they just hate us, man. They just hate us because he did a hell of a job.
Look, man, I want to see Bad Bunny versus Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. Give me that match.
I don't want to see that. Okay, to hell with that. Hey,
Give it to me now.
We ain't going that far right there. I don't want to, take it to that level right there. But I tell you, Bad Bunny, he did an awesome job for a guy that there again, this is not his realm of expertise, but I tell my students, you don't have to actually know how to do it. You just have to act like you know how to do it and act like you know how to do it very well. And he passed that test right there. So for me, there again, man, great job by Bad Bunny.
Yeah, and hit a destroyer, took a F5 from Brock Lesnar. I mean, the man's awesome. No hate coming from me at all for Bad Bunny in that Royal Rumble match. And you know what? Shane McMahon's back. What'd you think of the Shane return? I know you ran into him somewhere recently.
Yeah, I ran into him at one of the games, one of the baseball games, one of the playoffs games here in Houston, and I was like, "Wow, Shane, what are you doing?" Just hanging out, being a regular guy. Now back in the WWE, I was reading that he may be changing his attitude a little bit since coming back now. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how that thing play out. I don't know if you guys saw my little clip on Twitter, but maybe I can give him some pointers if he's planning on being demonic.
Well, you're not a very nice guy. You put your athletes in harm's way.
Hey man, look here. It's about, if you sign the contract, you are obligated to get in that ring and do your job. And like Ernie Ladd say, not just do that job, but do that job well. Okay. But guys, we got to take a quick break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. You're worth it.
Walker Texas Ranger handles the bad guys with a roundhouse kick. I'm Jim Walker, Walker Texas lawyer. I handle the insurance companies with a roundhouse kick to the wallet. If you've been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, give me a call at 713-552-1117 or visit my website at walkertexaslawyer.com. You'll be glad you did. Why would you call anyone else?
Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Just sitting here chopping it up. Like I said again, thank you guys inside the chat for sticking around with us. Get your questions if we possibly can. But what we got, man? What we got?
Yeah, we got some more here.
Super chat.
Vitamin Vision TV says, I fell off the WWE wagon months ago, but I tried to watch the Royal Rumble with an open mind, and it was still whack. Well, that's your opinion. You're allowed to have it. Art is subjective.
My thing is, tell me, that same person that just made the comment right there.
Vitamin Vision.
Vitamin. What are you looking for? You know what I mean? Don't just say you don't like it. Tell me what are you looking for, and I can try to maybe elaborate a little bit better, because I understand getting away from it and then trying to come back and check it out, and it's still not there as far as what you are looking for. But for me, I try to look at the show and try to find the good in it. And sometimes I'm just like the person that just sent that message. I'm not buying it. But then I try to look at something and try to find, just like say for instance the Bobby Lashley thing. I say, man, Bobby's doing a hell of a job. MVP is doing a hell of a job. I'm digging this, and I wish it would go that way. So give me that kind of example, opposed to just saying, man, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
What made it bad? I mean, this is what Kevin says. Kevin says 5 top guys and the rest of the roster is mid card. I guess is referring to the Rumble. But I will say this. Okay, go ahead.
No. That question right there is that's a valid comment. As far as the superstars on the roster, because there again, back and I hate trying to compare back in the day to what we're watching today. But everybody that came out of that curtain was pretty strong. Everybody had a character that you could actually, gravitate to, and the thing is, if you didn't like this character, you might like that one. If you didn't like that one, you might. And it was an array, an abundance, a plethora of guys to actually say, for instance, the Royal Rumble in 1995. The list of names that came out of that curtain, it was different. It was different back then, and that's why when I say something, and that's why I try not to say anything, because when I do say something, I get a whole lot of heat about trying to say anything positive about how these young guys could really set themselves head and shoulders above everybody else by going out there and they're again working on those acting skills, working on those emotional skills, trying to be able to connect with the fan. And I say, if you can make a kid in the arena, a tear come out of that kid's eye because you're really getting the hell beat out of you. He's really feeling your pain. If you could literally take yourself to that place, opposed to just thinking about the moves, that thing could really be beautiful. But it is so few of those guys that's in the business today. Take nothing away from their talent, their ability to go out there and perform at a very, very high level, but being able to make an emotional connection with fans. That's what actors do. That's what movies do. If you go to a movie and you're not connected, like I said, my wife, she watched this show, This Is Us. And damn it, she cries every single time. I'm like, baby, come on. I got to literally go make her some soup or something, to cheer her up. I'm serious. So when you could try to take your, we was talking about the time the guys had over the pandemic era where there were no fans. I was just talking about that with a couple of the guys just yesterday. I'm not going to say their names or anything like that, but we were talking about the ones that was really focusing. They shined a whole lot more than the ones who were just going out there and just doing the work. They really did. They Drew McIntyre, he literally made himself through the pandemic. I'm serious. MVP, Bobby, those guys, they made themselves through the pandemic. They made me feel when there was not one person in that arena. And if you could take your craft to that point, young people, man, it could really, really, it could be beautiful. Like I say, watch my clip with my kid Will all day on Twitter, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The emotion. I love you, kid. I love you for that. That kind of crap. It makes no sense, but it feels good when you watch it. You go, man, this fool, I can't stand it. You know what I mean? What is wrong with him? It makes you feel a certain way. And the old pro still hadn't lost that.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying too about having people on the roster that make you feel a certain way, and that's why, going back to what we said earlier, peppering in a couple other names just to bring the excitement level up. Other than, hey, we see this guy all the time on television. Hey, we haven't seen this guy in a minute. It gives you a different emotion to progress on.
Wait a minute though. not just seeing that guy for a minute is not going to make you have an emotion, make you feel a certain way about him. That guy got to make you feel a certain way about him by going out there and displaying his talent in the middle of that ring. Because, dude, this thing it's a Shakespeare. It's Romeo and Juliet. It's Phantom of the Opera. This is like, DiCaprio. I'm serious. And if you're not thinking that way, and if you're just thinking about wrestling, you could be in a world of hurt by time you turn 50. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious about that. But go ahead.
I was just going to say we can move to our next one where they said the number 30 entrant winning is so anticlimactic. I don't agree with that at all, actually.
You know what? I was just going to say, I don't disagree with that.
I don't agree with it.
I mean, well, I don't disagree with it.
Let me tell you why.
No, let me tell you why.
Okay.
When the number 30 entrant is Brock Lesnar. If it was anybody else, if it was Rey Mysterio coming in at number 30, so I can't disagree with it.
Well, I guess what I mean when I say I don't agree with the particular sentiment, he didn't say Brock Lesnar winning was anticlimactic. He said the number 30 entrant winning is anticlimactic.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
Well, but yeah, he's referring to this.
We ain't talking about last year. We ain't talking about the year before.
Yeah, but he didn't say Brock Lesnar winning. He said the number 30.
Do you want him to reaffirm what he was talking about?
Yes, I do. Because I think the number 30 entrant winning, it has to win sometimes. The number 30 has to win because if the number 30 never wins, no one wants the number 30. It's supposed to be this great advantage. You come out last.
Maybe that's the number, that's the jinx. The guy that get number 30 normally never wins.
Well, I think John Cena came in at 30 one year.
Maybe that's the story behind it. I'm just saying, but I don't. It's not something that I could, say. Well, I agree with that or disagree. It's either or really. But that's not something I'm going to sit here and say, man, I disagree with that. I just can't do that because I understand the way a lot of the fans perhaps felt. Brock was, still relatively fresh coming in at number 30 and then going out and winning it. There again, I was just talking to you about it a second ago, man. I said, making the fans feel a certain way. A lot of times that's what they want. They want to feel a certain way. They want to be able to walk away from that movie feeling a certain way. And I don't know. That's just me. Okay. That's just me. And I say that creating my own storyline. Okay. When my show, our show, Reality of Wrestling went off this week, the champion didn't have a chance going into the main event. When the champion went out and lost his title, the way he did, somebody in that arena, one of those kids perhaps had a tear coming out of their eye because that was wrong. That was wrong. And that's what I'm talking about when making fans feel a certain way. That's what they want.
Okay. I mean, I can understand an argument about Brock.
Let's go back and watch the last episode of Reality Wrestling.
You should definitely do that.
If you don't have the YouTube channel, make sure you download it. Reality Wrestling /YouTube. Do it now. I do it for you. I'm gonna tell you, the show is picking up. It's picking up, and we're gonna make it even better. And we need your feedback more than anything to let us know, what you like, what you don't like. If you want more of the demonic Booker T.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I mean, look, we'll see. We have more super chats to get to, and I think when we're on the subject of Brock Lesnar, we do have to talk about the clash between Bobby and Brock and how great that video package was building up the match. And that was, the one that was like forged in fire or whatever it was.
Yeah.
If that doesn't sell you on a match, God, man, I watched that thing and I was like, God, what a great way to, if someone has no idea who these two guys are, to build interest in a match. It was so well done. So well done.
Well, that's one thing about WWE. I've never been lacking on the package. Package. That's what I used to love about WWE more than anything is, the package that they would produce for us and really make us look like, like animated cartoon characters to where we could, soar through the air with the greatest of ease. It was amazing. The pain shots that they would, catch, when the match was going. It just, it's just unbelievable. Taker going over the top rope at WrestleMania and crashing and burning. That one, right? That kind of stuff, man. It's amazing. Those packages. That's what I remember. I think about the business more than anything. I love that part of it. Never gets old. Stick around, guys. We got to take a commercial break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll take more super chats. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
My name is Nathan Wasser, and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I came down here to Reality of Wrestling to improve my training and get myself more experience learning from the absolute best. It's intense. It's hard. You got to leave your ego at the door and come in with an open mind. The way they do stuff here is the next level. But if you do that, you'll end up bettering yourself in the end, and you'll improve, and you'll be able to work anywhere.
Nathan, he's an unbelievably awesome student. I'll tell you why, right? For a few reasons. Number one, the man packed up all the way from the Great White North to move down here to the U.S. to train because he wanted to learn from one of the best. But what's even more impressive, on top of the fact that he takes care of his body, he works hard, is the fact that he was trained by a very reputable trainer and yet still comes down here humble, hungry, ready to work and ready to learn, and not coming in here acting like he knows everything or that he's too rigid in his ways.
Booker's knowledge will help you get to whatever goals you want to do if you want to be a big star in this industry. My end goal is to be in WWE. Coming down here to Reality of Wrestling, I feel is the best opportunity for me to get there, so I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can promise you, when you come to Reality of Wrestling, it will change your life. You will not regret it.
Can you dig it, sucker? Shup. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Know we got a lot to talk about, but I know we got a few more super chats. Brad was talking about.
We got more
super chat.
Callie Toenail, what's up, Callie? What's up with Sonya Deville? She was all on your head. I was thinking Queen might have to give her 2-piece with the biscuit. She was talking real bold.
You know what, man? She was talking nonsense. But yeah, my thing is this: I'm gonna just call it out. All right, I'm gonna just call it out. You can't have it both ways. And the thing is, if I wasn't on that show, nobody's not gonna do that. Nobody's gonna just call it like it is and say, exactly, how it's supposed to be said. It's a conflict of interest. How you gonna be, calling the shots and getting in the ring at the same time? And me personally, I know about conflicts of interest. Okay, I do it all the time. All right, so I know exactly.
You're an expert.
I'm an expert, so I know what it is. You know what I mean? I know which guys I want to push, get to the next level. I know that. So let's not just beat around the bush. Let's just say it and quit holding it back. So my thing is this with Sonya. Me and Sonya, we go way back, all the way back to Tough Enough. She's one of my pupils. So I just want to keep the checks and balances in the right place, as well as I'm not going to go on television and not give the people exactly what they want. Not just what they want, but what they need.
You know what? I got to say something. She was sitting there explaining the jacket being on and the jacket being off and how that symbolizes something. And you said, you had a quote, a response to her that I think is going to become a meme for WWE. I think it's going to become a meme. You literally said to her face, "That doesn't make any sense." I think that's going to catch on. That might be a meme. You might be memed on that one. Bro. Anytime something haywire goes on, you're going to have the Booker T. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, come on, let's just be real here. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, like she said, we're in a different era than when I was, in charge. back in
Yes,
the day.
that's
So,
obvious.
that was a nice little jab right there, Andy. But no, I had fun, man. I had fun up on the panel, and always rest assured, I'm gonna call it, tell it just like it is.
Let's talk about Brock and Bobby. We have another super chat we can get to in just a second, but I think we should stay on this subject because we were just talking about it. Great video package, the Forged in Fire. You saw how Brock was an NCAA champion, a UFC champion. You saw how Bobby was an amateur wrestling champion and competed in Bellator, undefeated in Bellator. Then they both come back to WWE, become WWE champions, right? And this is going to be their first clash. I will say this is one of the only matches in quite some time that I think all fans of every variety were very excited to see, like what was going to happen between Brock and Bobby. And I just want to know, what did you think from what you were able to see of their match? What did you think of the battle of the big men? Braided Brock and Big Match Bob.
Let me just say this. I was talking to Sharmell on the phone when that match was going down, and I was on my way back to the hotel to meet Peter Rosenberg. We was gonna have a little dinner and finish watching the pay-per-view at Ruth Chris, and Sharmell was like, "Wow, this is exciting." All right, now for Sharmell to say that, it means something because she's been around me for a long time, and she knows what she likes. She knows what she doesn't like. And she said, but what it made her feel like more than anything, like a heavyweight fight, like it was two grown men in the ring fighting. And I think that's what the takeaway from that was more than anything. And just think about this right here. You had 30 Brock Lesnar's and 30, just say 15 Brock Lesnar's and 15 Bobby Lashley's in the Royal Rumble, walking to the ring, making that entrance. That's what I'm talking about right there. As far as what we saw back in the day and what made the Rumble special, it was guys like Bobby Lashley. It was guys like Brock Lesnar. So that's a testament to what old school wrestling was back in the day, and is still relevant to people believing in two men going out there and going mano a mano, 1-on-1. So big ups for Bobby getting the win. And the thing is, by any means necessary. I don't care how Bobby won. Okay, because this is not the NCAA. I don't have to get get a pinfall or get, so many points, like they did in college. Somebody run in and hit it with a chair. Damn it, I win. Somebody give me a good distraction. Hey, I win. This is professional wrestling. So a lot of people may not like the finish or disagree with, why Bobby had to go over that way. But this is professional wrestling, and I'm not mad the way it went down. People always talk about excuse me. People always talk about when I lost to Triple H at WrestleMania. Do you remember how I lost that match?
I mean, after the pedigree, right? I mean,
before the pedigree.
Oh,
you don't remember, do you?
No.
And that's why I say it didn't. I've never mind losing. It's always been the way I lost the match. Ric Flair ran out.
Oh, right.
Distracted me, did something. So anything like that, it's wrestling. So for Bobby to win the way he did, hey, I'm not mad at it at all.
I'm not mad at it either. And the thing is, it sets up several different things. You now have a money rematch if you ever want to go back to Brock and Bobby. Hey, you never beat me straight up. Let's do it again. You have a money rematch there. You set up Brock and Roman. Bobby now is the WWE champion. People said he looked weak in it. I'm like, where did Bobby Lashley look weak? He didn't look weak once in the match.
Yeah.
He just took advantage of a situation. You saw MVP saying, cover him. cover him now, right? What is Bobby going to do? Is Bobby going to pick Brock up and beat him up a little bit more?
Well, that's the thing. Like I say, people are going to always, be able to criticize and say it should have been done this way. It should have been done that way. A lot of people say perhaps maybe he shouldn't have won. So people are going to always have their opinion. But for me, the way it went down, I could buy it, any day of the week. At the end of the day, when Bobby looked back on that match, man, I got a win over Brock Lesnar, at the Royal Rumble in 2020. Man, that's pretty awesome. So for me, whatever the doubters are saying, they're gonna doubt. They're gonna say that. But for Bobby, I think it was a hell of a moment, being in the ring with Brock Lesnar after all of these years, and be able to walk away somewhat victorious. Let's just say that.
He's the WWE champion.
Yeah, I mean, I say that just because people may not look at this like it's real, but I always say anything that puts food on the table and a roof over your head is as real as it possibly can be, and then to actually get a extra bonus, a cherry on top, going out there and beating Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, it's pretty cool, and I think that's something that those guys one day they're going to be perhaps sitting at dinner talking about it. Man, it's been a cool experience. Perhaps not now, but one day they're definitely going to say, man, that was pretty cool. So from the outside looking in, it's not to be understood, really.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like is now Bobby's going in the Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia to defend the title in the chamber. I don't like that for him. I'll be honest with you. I don't like what I'm smelling here.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I feel like you're setting Bobby up. Don't set my man up here.
You know what? Bobby is what did I say, man? Bobby, we really are setting Bobby up. Okay. You know why we're setting him up? We're setting Bobby up for the next 3 to 4 to perhaps 5 years in this company to be a major player. And I think Bobby going over there and being in a match like that and walking away from it. And I say that because I know about, being billed, because when I was King Booker, no one in a million years thought I was going to come out the victor at the Champion of Champions match against the Big Show and John Cena. No one thought I was going to win that match. No one. So I know about, the process, and I see what Bobby is right now. And Bobby is being billed for the next 3 to 5 years to be a mega star in this company.
Well, I'm here for it. I love Bobby Lashley and love what he and MVP are doing. So the more that they're on my television, the more relevant it is. It is interesting to see. We have an obvious path for Brock and Roman for the Universal title. I don't know where we're going with Bobby as the champion. I don't know who the challenger is going to be. I don't know, and I kind of like that. I like that we don't know what's going to happen with this title at WrestleMania. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, definitely it's exciting, and that's the way it should be. There again, a player gonna have to step up. Who's that player gonna be? All right,
who's it gonna be?
That's the question right there. Who is it gonna be? But a player is gonna have to step up, and I tell you, man. And I sit back, I think about it, I wonder, I talk about it all the time. Who's going to be that guy to actually step? It's this guy I had, his name is Andy, back in the day. He's 7 foot tall, 300 plus pounds, carved out of granite. And I say, man, if you play your cards right, man, you could take the Undertaker's place. You could be the guy. Still waiting on that guy to take the Undertaker's place.
I think you're going to be waiting a little bit longer, too.
You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. About yourself, as far as that grind, how much do you actually embrace it? How much do you actually feel like that is a part of this journey?
Oh, man. Well, thankfully now the scene in where I'm from. I'm living in Oklahoma right now, and I wrestle in Texas. But thankfully now the scene is kind of growing with the streaming platforms, you know, with places like Reality of Wrestling down there in Texas. You get a bigger buzz here, but for years it was hard. And so you had to get out there and travel. So there'd be many a nights where I was on the road by myself, 7, 8, 9, 10-hour drives there and back, sacrificing time with my family, sacrificing time at my real job, trying to just make ends meet. But when you really love this, and I tell people this all the time, some people just love coming through the curtain. You can't just love coming through the curtain. When you really love this, you fall in love with the ground. Fuego del Sol hates squats, man. I hate deadlifts. But if you really love this, you got to learn to love all of it. Every facet of it, every bit of sacrifice, every bit of time that you're losing with, you know, birthdays, loved ones, all of that.
Yeah.
When you really want it, when you really sacrifice, and when you start to see it pay off, you realize all of that is worth it and then some for this.
Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We got any more stupid chats, man?
We do. The hits keep on coming, and everyone wants to talk about the 2022 Royal Rumble.
Super chat.
Jason Maroney wants to talk about this women's Royal Rumble. Damn good to see Melina and Mickey. I hope the former sticks around, just like MVP. Heads up to Brad. My name rhymes with Stone, not Marconi. Oh, so Jason Marone and not Marconi. Okay, thank you, Jason. Yeah, so look, let's talk about the women's Royal Rumble. Did you get to see that one? Did you get to see the women's Rumble?
Yeah, I did. Big surprise. Ronda Rousey coming out and taking the whole thing.
Hey, hell of a pop for Ronda too.
Well, look here, man. I was one of the guys who said Ronda actually went out and studied the game and did a hell of a job when she actually had a chance to go out and do her thing. I was always on top of that. The exits, you know, I wasn't that happy with as far as Ronda. Some of the stuff she said, you know, on social media about professional wrestling, you know, I haven't appreciated or anything like that. But as far as what Ronda has always, you know, did when she was inside that square circle, she always was 100%, you know, or more. And the fans, man, the fans really love Rowdy Ronda Rousey, and that's my thing right there, man. When the fans love you to the point to where it's effortless for you to actually get that reaction from them. Like what I learned when I met Muhammad Ali, it doesn't cost nothing to be nice to folks. You know what I mean? So I say, you know, this business, it means something to me. And for Ronda, she's in a very, very unique position.
Okay, we lost BT here for a second. He will be back with his thoughts and finishes analysis there on Ronda Rousey, which, again, we had heard rumors early in the week. I think we talked about on the Wednesday show when we had Lita on the Hall of Fame that she could be coming back. And the thing about it is, if Ronda Rousey, there he is, Book. There you are. Are you there?
I see that.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm back. I was thinking, I was talking about Goldberg. I say like when Goldberg first came in back in the day, Goldberg wasn't the guy that I think really loved the business or anything like that, but he was making a lot of money. And, you know, Goldberg was another guy that said certain things about the business back then. But now you see Goldberg and he realized and he appreciate what this business really has given to him. And now you see his son perhaps gravitating to it. And he feels a certain way after being around it and then being away from it and being back to it. So I just say, man, be careful when you got something, and when you do get it, you might want to hold on to it for a long time, especially when it's effortless for you to get that reaction from people because they just love you. They just want to love you. Simple as that.
It was a massive reaction for Ronda Rousey. I will say I was a little surprised. I mean, I thought that she might have lost I thought she might have lost a little good graces with the fan base. I did. I thought she might have lost a little bit of the good graces with the fan base, but obviously I was wrong. She came out, had a big pop. We had also several other surprises. Melina was back, right? Her and Sasha Banks started off. Shout out to Sasha Banks, who came back from injury and was in the Royal Rumble. She started off at number 1 in her Sailor Moon get up, which got a lot of people talking on social media. Huge pop for Sasha Banks. She's also one of those always over. It doesn't matter if she's featured in a meaningful storyline or she's off TV for 7 weeks and she comes back.
Good. She's good. She's good. She's money when she goes out and perform. Sasha, she transforms into Sasha. And I tell you, to see the transition, the transformation, from herself to that character in the ring, it's unbelievable. It's a lot goes into it. It really is. And she brings the noise every time she's out there. She's a performer.
Yeah, she's one of the best. She's one of the best the women's division has ever had, 100%. I'm trying to think of some of the other surprises that we didn't know were going to come out. Summer Rae. Summer Rae was out there. Cameron.
Lita.
Cameron, Lita, the Bella twins, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? I didn't think that they would do this. Mickie James came out to her TNA music with the TNA title, and the lower third said Impact Women's Champion, Mickie James.
Awesome, huh?
I was very surprised by that.
Nah, man. You know what? I wasn't. Mickie deserves it. She deserves that. She's put in the work. She's the true Hall of Famer at the same time. And for her to actually, go through that forbidden door and represent Impact Wrestling, to give those guys a rub. There's nothing wrong with giving Impact a rub. There's nothing wrong with that. So hey, I thought it was a great night for her.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome to see her, and it was awesome, like I said, to see a lot of the old names. Cameron, who we hadn't seen in some time.
Did you say Michelle McCool? Michelle
McCool went out there. She had a Styles Clash. She was doing spots. She was all over the place. All over the place.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And even
sore afterwards.
The thing about the women's Rumble that I actually liked was they paid off stories more so than the men's Rumble. Like there was more stories that were told within the women's Royal Rumble, and even with the Bella twins, like calling back to the first women's Royal Rumble where one eliminated the other, and then this year the other one eliminates the other one. Small things like that you had to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I really appreciated it. But as soon as Ronda Rousey's music hit and she came out, well, that was it. Like I knew she was winning the Royal Rumble. There's no way Ronda comes back and doesn't win the Royal Rumble. I was hoping for my girl Bianca. I thought that she was going to pull it off. I actually predicted on social media, I said the final four was going to be Sasha, Bianca, Charlotte, and Ronda. I almost got that 100% right. I was one off.
Hey,
Sasha got eliminated early.
Hey, I tell you, I can't hate on it. If Ronda's going to come back, I was just talking about we got to strengthen the women's division. I just said that, and boom, Ronda Rousey shows back up. She wins the match. Lets me know she's going to be around for a minute. I mean, let's just see how far we can play this thing out. And I think at the end of the day, when you got to play Ronda Rousey, you got to use her. Okay, like the regular kid on the block. You got to. It's like if John Cena say, "Hey man, you guys, y'all got any room for me to come back for a couple of weeks?" What do you say?
Oh yeah.
Bro, we ain't got no space right here. You don't say that. You say, "Oh man, heck yeah, we'll make room." So yeah. So for me, having Ronda back was really, really cool. Yeah, a couple other new faces that was going on in the run. Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan was there. Sarah Logan.
She was in for a minute.
Ivory.
Ivory was in there as well. Yeah.
Ivory was 60 years old.
Molly Holly.
Mighty Molly Holly. Yes. Yes.
Did you see Molly Holly's power walk? It's like she was like a superhero. It
Mhm.
was like stuck in one spot. Thought she was gonna take off there for a second, but nah, man.
Can
It
we
was
talk though about how Ivory hasn't? What was her name in Glow? You told me before. What was her name in Glow? Like Tiff something Ferrari or something like that. Um,
I told you.
I thought that we talked about this before. That you remember Ivory from Glow,
I do remember her from Glow, but I don't remember her name though.
Tina Ferrari or something like that. But anyway, Ivory doesn't look like she's aged much, in my opinion. She looks very close to what I remember her looking like on TV.
Hey,
You know, in
man.
the Right to Censor outfit with her hair
Yeah,
pulled back.
yeah. I used to love that.
The Right to Censor was great.
Nah, man, I think like I say, with the women, unlike the men, I think that's what the difference was. All of those names we just called, was throwbacks, names from, pretty much the past. And I think that's what was missing from the Rumble. And I know all the time, we hear, well, some old guy taking some young guy's spot. But I really don't think that's what the Royal Rumble match is completely about. Because just say, for instance, what are we going to do with all of those names that you're looking for? We can't do those spots that you're talking about. It's the Royal Rumble. So I think the spot is the person that makes me feel a certain way when I hear their music or see them walk down the aisle. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought the women's Rumble this year outdid the men's as far as the entertainment value of the Royal Rumble. I think that Ronda, and this is just my hypothesis. I think that Ronda was a last minute call. That's what I think. I think it was a last minute call. You know why I think this?
Why's that?
Because her gear didn't look like I had this gear ready for a couple weeks. Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't brand new.
It didn't look new. It was just like some black, yoga kind of pants and a shirt that said baddest. It didn't look like the Ronda gear from her first run. Now, she could have just been changing up the style, but I felt like, okay, hey, they called me for the Rumble. I need to get something together real quick. That's what I felt like. I don't know. But one thing I did notice too, a lot of moms on the card this year. A lot of women with children on the card this year. The Bellas, Ronda,
what did you think about Sarah Logan's outfit?
I don't really remember what it looked like, to be honest.
Like she was like,
was it like a bunch of like squirrel skin or something like that?
A jungle like costume, like Bam Bam on.
I remember it now, yeah. Very Flintstone-y.
It was like the Flintstones. I was like, what is this? But maybe that's the time off. You don't know, man. It's crazy, dog. We gotta take a break, man. We gotta take a break. We gotta talk about some of this stuff, man. We gotta talk about Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios, stepping in the ring, as well as Leo Santa Cruz stepping back with Keenan Carvajal. We gotta talk about that because I think our last segment coming up here in a minute. Brett, what would you had something to say? You had something to say?
No. Let's go to break.
Stick around, guys. You're the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Judge a book by its cover. You can look at someone and just like, say, for instance, I had a kid came to my school when he was 17 years old. And I asked him to get in the ring and to do one roll, do a right roll, a left roll, and do a front roll, kind of like my 8-year-old kid does. And he couldn't do it. And I was like, man, you might want to try something else. I don't think this is going to be for you. I said, I tell you what, when you're 18 years old, come back. And he left, 18 years old, kid came knocking back again. And I say, let me see you try those rolls again. He couldn't do those rolls, worth of crap. I said, I tell you what, go work out for 6 months and come back. All right? Kid worked out as much as he could, came back 6 months later. And I said, let me see those rolls. Still can do those rolls. I said, why do you want to do this? And he said, I've been wanting to do this my whole life. And I said, okay, I'm going to sign you up. Signed the kid up. He sat on the sidelines for maybe 6 months to a year, and he was training, and he was just taking notes and taking notes and taking notes. Finally, we had a show and the kid couldn't show up. And I said, hey, man, I'm going to put you in a match tonight. All right, just get in the ring. Let me see what you can do. He got in the ring. He showed me a little bit of something. He looked okay. Still couldn't do those rolls, okay? But he looked pretty good in the ring. Next thing you know, next show, I put the kid on the show again. He went out and did even better. Next show, he did even better. And it just started rolling after that. And he became the Reality of Wrestling champion. He was the champion for a year straight. Nobody could beat him. But he still couldn't do those roles. So I learned to say you cannot judge a book by its cover.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I wasn't froze. Thought I was, didn't you?
I thought I was scared for a moment. I'm like, oh crap, here I go again. Gonna have to make something up. Hey, I know this is our last seg. I know this is our last seg, so we got to get a couple things in real quick. Just last super chats. Callie Toenail says, let's be honest, Charlotte owned the Royal Rumble. She was my pick for show, but I can't be mad at Ronda because she's going after Becky, but Ivory was fun. Ivory, again, a lot of love for Ivory. Another super chat here, Booker. Is it safe to say Roman is the best thing in pro wrestling? He simply puts his hands out and gets the same pop that a Canadian destroyer gets. Him and Seth can continue the story since. What did you think of that? Roman, is he the most over thing in pro wrestling?
Did you see the crowd?
Bro,
he had one crowd. Did you see that one crowd shot?
Nuts.
Where the crowd was like,
nuts.
If it would have been back in the day, it would have been stuff getting thrown in the ring. It was like that. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about as far as, making the fans feel a certain way, because Roman, his intensity, his intent,
incredible.
It makes it as real as it possibly can to the fan that's watching it. They actually get caught up in the moment. Seth Rollins became the biggest baby face in the arena after that right there. And the person that can carry that is Seth Rollins as well. I've been talking about Seth Rollins as of late, as far as how he's evolved to being a really, really good entertainer. He goes out and performs, and does only what he needs to do, because this is what it calls for at this time. I don't need to do more than that. But I tell you, Seth Rollins is the guy who's waiting to get the phone call to say, hey, man, I need you to go out and give me a 5-star match tonight. All right. And we'll think about the entertainment next week. But tonight, that's the guy that can give it to you. Seth Rollins is the guy that can go out there and bring this thing to another level. And what he did with Big E, was some damn good wrestling. Okay. Of course, match. Big E come out on the winning side of that, but it showed how many gears Seth Rollins have. So working in there with a guy like Roman, man, art, beautiful art. And the fans got their money's worth out of that match, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. As far as wrestling matches, the best on the show. Roland Curtis says Kofi Kingston is the king of Royal Rumble saves, but he might be on a LeBron decline. Is it possible that at 40, Kofi is getting too old for those Rumble heroics?
I tell you, man, time waits for no man. That's true, man. Father Time is a monster. Kofi, if Kofi tried that again, right after, he probably could have pulled it off.
Sure.
It's just one of those things, man. It's a hit or miss like type of deal. And that night, it just wasn't meant for Kofi to actually pull off. I'm not going to say it was his age or anything like that. I'm not going to say Kofi has lost a step or anything like that, because Kofi is still doing it at a very high level. But that's why they call it high risk. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It is high risk. And last one before we get to any other news items that we wanted today. Roland Curtis says, did Beating Brock turned Lashley and MVP into baby faces. Lashley walked back to Gorilla, shaking hands, giving high fives to fans with a huge smile on his face.
Well, I think that package that you was referring to turned Bobby into a baby face. Bobby said he wanted to be a hero. And I remember, you know, when I won the title, I came out on Monday night, and I remember saying, I did this for the people. I was lying. No, Bobby said he wanted to be a hero. So I think he set himself up to be a baby face in that deal. I don't know if we're going that route or not, but I kind of felt that as well.
Yeah, I think they were both kind of baby faces going into the match, right? Because Paul Heyman turns on Brock, so Brock's not the heel, and Bobby. It was really just like back in the day. I'm sure some people were rooting for Muhammad Ali, some people were rooting for George Foreman, right? You just whatever team you were on.
Nobody was rooting for George Foreman. It was Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier that they would have.
Okay, or Joe Frazier. I'm just.
Nobody was rooting for George.
Look, George is a Texan. All right, you know what? I'm going to rep for the home base.
Bro, I'm just letting you know.
Did Muhammad? What? Look. What did Muhammad Ali do out of boxing? Did he make the lean green grilling machine? No, he didn't. All right, let my man George get some.
He made enough money where he'd have to make one of those.
I bet you George Foreman made more money off the lean mean grilling machine than he did in boxing. Yeah. Last thing, Cali Toenail, but BT, tell me you told them to add dreads to the duck.
Heck yeah, man. Shuggy Ducky Quack Quack, bro. That's my, it's not my signature line. It's Shuggy Ducky's signature line, but I'm just using it. But it's paying homage to the original Shuggy Ducky Quack Quack. Yeah, always got to have the dreads when we represent. Just like the Booker Bear right here that you're looking at.
Look at the Booker Bear. You got to love it. Last thing on the Rumble. Do you think Big E, they said in the comments here, Eric Daniels says Big E got a bad deal. Bad Bunny got more. Do you think Big E got a raw deal in the Royal Rumble? He was kind of dumped out unceremoniously by Randy Orton. It did make the Final Four. He just was the WWE champion, you know?
You know what, man? You can't please everybody. All right.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, and I'm saying this because I had a hell of a career. I had a great career. But you're not going to remember any Royal Rumble moments other than 2011 for Booker T. All right. I had a hell of a career. You're not going to remember any WrestleMania matches other than the one with Triple H. All right. I had a hell of a career. And I was one of those guys that, you know, perhaps wasn't looked at like, a lot of the other top guys were looked at, so it just doesn't fall your way all the time in this business. And that's just a fact. I'm not making any excuses or anything like that. That's just a fact. Big E is definitely in a position. He's still young. All he got to do is just keep doing what he's doing, and he'll find himself back in that position again. And that's the thing. When will that be? I can't tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if we're going to see some in Saudi Arabia in the Elimination Chamber with Big E.
That's well, out of my range.
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. Well, Book, we're rounding third here, heading home. I know we had several things that we hadn't gotten to yet. What's the main topic we should hit before we got to get out of here?
Man, we definitely got to talk about the big fight going down this weekend. Fox pay-per-view, Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Two guys looking to get a win. I think this is a make-or-break fight for both of these guys coming off loss. Keith Thurman definitely found himself in a situation. First fight in front of his newly wed, his wife, his bride, go out there against Manny Pacquiao and just get waxed. As well as Mario Barrios, big fight in Atlanta, Georgia with Tank Davis, and didn't come out too well for Tank Davis in Atlanta, Georgia. But both of these guys guys got a chance to redeem themselves. Fox pay-per-view this weekend, Saturday. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. As well as Leo Santa Cruz. I'm stepping back inside the squared circle versus Keenan Carbajal. I tell you, Leo Santa Cruz is a guy who is a warrior inside the square circle, 37-2. But that last loss there again to Tank Davis. Tank Davis' name is all in the news, man. That all he needed was a pillow. Because he was seeing Z's, but to come back, to step inside that square circle, to redeem himself against Keenan Carbajal is something that I will definitely be watching this Saturday night, guys. And you don't want to miss out and get shut out on a fight like that as well, guys, because I think it's going to be all action fight. Main event, Thurman, Barrios, co-main event. Leo Santa Cruz versus Keenan Carbajal. You don't want to miss out, guys. It's going to be some good action.
Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. We're going to be covering that fight and leading up to it here this week on the Hall of Fame. And next week, Book, we got is it next week? Yeah, next week. We're going to be at the UFC 271 here in Houston, Texas. So we got a lot coming up combat-wise.
Robert Whitaker Adesanya is about to go down. I was reading something where Kamaru Usman is talking about perhaps stepping up and fighting Israel Adesanya, and that right there would be a classic for me. As well as, man, before we get out of here, man, did you see that Jake Paul diss track to Dana White, the new video, man? What'd you think about that before we get out of here?
You know what? I thought it was going to be awful, but I don't know who wrote his lyrics. He had some nice little bars in there. He had some barbs to Nate Diaz and Connor and Jorge and Dana. He had some nice lines. We'll have to break it down really on Wednesday.
Yeah, we definitely got to break it down because I'm thinking. I was looking. Jake Paul said he got about 5 fights left before he retire. I think he's already set up the next career, which is the rap game. So I'm gonna tell you, the boy is definitely working. He's working. I'm gonna tell you, man, if the Island Boys can get signed and make some money, anybody can. Island Boy. Hey guys, we got to get up out of here, man. We appreciate you all sticking around inside the Hall of Fame. And on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the Island Boys. I know we got to get the Island Boys on the show. Hey, guys, I want to thank you guys in the chat.
Avery Davis.
Phone call.
As always, I appreciate you, dog. But we got to get out of here. Peace.
Can you dig it,